Alright, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Chupacabra Tutorials channel. I'm your host, Larry, and today I'm going to answer the question of how do you enable or disable different programs from automatically turning on when you turn on your computer. What's generally referred to as the Windows startup programs. And it's not just like some hidden Illuminati nonsense deep inside your computer settings that you got to be a hacker to change. It's literally just as simple as turning on or off a toggle in one or two places. So the easiest place to get to it is to just look up in the Windows search bar in the bottom of your screen, startup, and then it'll say like startup apps, and it's actually a section of your Windows settings. In this case, I'm looking at Windows 11. You might be for a little while yet looking at Windows 10. It's roughly the same idea, it just looks a little bit different. And here you can see all of the apps that are supposed to start up when you first start your computer. Now, something to note is if you don't know whether or not some of these apps are important for something else on your computer running, I recommend not trying to turn it off unless you actually know what it does. So in this case, all you have to do is go through this list and say like, well, I like to use the program Canva to edit pictures, but I don't need it to open up and pop up immediately when I restart my computer and slow things down. I use the Adobe Creative Cloud suite of programs all the time, so it's good for it to run and start up when I restart the computer. Similarly, the Giazzo Screenshot Helper, or GY Station is what it's called here, is something that I use to take screenshots every day, so I want that to be turned on. And then all these things like the Intel Graphics Command Center stuff, that's just so that my graphics and my system and my CPU work correctly, that can stay on. Lively Wallpaper is just a live wallpaper app. I rarely touch it, so it can stay off. In fact, I should probably uninstall that since I rarely use it. Logitech, since that's my mouse, I want that to run. You can kind of go through here and just toggle on or off anything that you want or feel needs to be turned on immediately when you launch the computer. In this case, I don't necessarily need my password safe application open all the time, so I can turn that off. My phone link I use fairly regularly. My audio drivers I use like every day. Steam I use daily. SteelSeries, I don't actually. I do have a SteelSeries keyboard, so I could turn this on. And then that's it. That's all you gotta do to adjust any of the programs that automatically turn on in your Windows startup settings. The other place that you can access these settings is actually in your Windows, the Task Manager. So again, if we go back down to the Windows search tray or the search bar and type in Task Manager, you can open up the Task Manager, and that's the thing that like shows you all of the programs and like processes currently running on your computer. That way, if you want to kill any of them because they're like frozen and not responding, you can right click them and end task. But what we want is actually in the sidebar over here. And then if we go through here and hover over them, there's performance, app history, startup apps, and users. And we want the startup apps. And just the same way that the other menu works, you can select one of these items and look over here to see if it's enabled or disabled already at startup. And here, you can right-click it and enable it if you want that to be enabled, or right-click and disable it if you'd rather that not be currently running on your computer. And if you're not entirely certain what these processes are, because developers name things really ridiculous names that may not necessarily tell you what exactly this program is, and you might think it's a virus or something else, you can literally right-click it and search online to see what that program is, so you know what it is, and you're not like, is that a virus or something? Otherwise, yeah, that's how you change the Windows startup apps to be on or off, and I'll catch you next time. Bye, everybody, and have a good one.